Welcome to the Founders Table, where you can have a seat. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful Sunday. My name is Kashana, and I am here with Patrice and Riri, my sisters, my cousins, my besties, and we are here to talk and chat it up. Go on ahead, Patrice.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody, to our first episode of the Founders Table. We're so glad to have you today. We're going to sit here and talk about things that just make us smile, things that, better our lives, our children, family. We're going to talk about our business. So, yeah, we're just going to get started. Go ahead, Riri.
Well, today is Sunday. God is good.
All day.
This is the
Time.
first episode of FoundHERs table. So yeah, we'll have a lot that we're gonna be discussing, guys. It'll be every Sunday that we'll be, launching. We'll have some live in calls where you guys will be able to call, share your opinions. Everybody doesn't have that outlet where they can, somebody they can talk to. And we're here. We're all moms, we're all wives, sisters, daughters, cousins. We are family. So this is for any woman or anybody who feels like they're alone. And whether it's medical advice you're looking for, maybe it's, some personal advice, financial advice, business advice, whatever it is, we are here. And we'll be doing this every Sunday. Again, as I said, and welcome to our first episode. So
And
Welcome,
entrepreneurs. And
yes,
entrepreneurs, too.
yes.
Have to
welcome
throw
to the
that out there.
table. So, what are we talking about today, y'all? What is our first topic of discussion?
Today, I think we should talk about conflict and how we handle things, like in our life every day, with people, relationships, work, just conflict, Yeah, let's do
Conflicts
that.
come up every day on a daily basis, and
Yes.
sometimes it's hard to navigate them.
Just thinking you guys are saying that and thinking about conflict, I feel like who do you have the most conflict of? I guess your spouse is probably the person you have the most conflict. You see them every day, or your children, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just making sure, how are you handling those conflicts, and dealing with those. I know me myself, I just feel like a lot of times, especially with either my kid, even with you guys, if I have a conflict, I always take a moment to step back and do some reflection on myself and just see, what was my contribution to the situation. Because a lot of times when you're in conflict with someone, I know in the past, you just want to pop off right then and there and not thinking about how that other person is going to take it. Or even sometimes things happen and you don't even know, maybe the person really didn't mean to drive you to that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just taking a minute to just sit back and say, okay, wait a minute. Let me think about this. What was my contribution? Did I start this? Was it something I could have done differently? Could have handled the situation better? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always something you can do different, but I'm telling you, I have a hard time dealing with um, just making sure that I am steering things in the right path. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it can go left. And then, when I think about it all, I'll be like, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. I
Right.
feel bad. And then,
How you address it and like how, because you know how you could be sometimes.
All right, with the husband, we know how she is.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
it's that.
Patience sometimes is where very thin.
Yeah,
But
well, make sure you're not emasculating,
yeah.
your husband at times, and taking, because I know in the past, and just even with my husband, because my husband is not one he's not one to argue. He gonna say something,
Right.
push you up, and he gonna walk away.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not gonna go, word for word for you. He's gonna say what you gotta say, and he walks away. And for
He's
me,
gone.
it's that the way that you address me is what ticks me, and then you walked away, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute, and so then
Mm.
go at him, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, just stop before, because you're gonna say something that's off the cuff and it's just gonna make it even worse. So
But that
Right.
comes with a lot of things, though. That comes with like growth and the emotional
mhm,
intelligence, like you
mhm,
said, taking that step back, listening. That comes with growth because, like you said before, you couldn't say anything crazy to me. Okay, it didn't
mhm,
matter who you were, co-worker. I mean, I remember some co-workers. I don't went off, slapped a couple. Okay, like that. But that's growth. Over time. when you look at it. But, when it comes to this generation, that's kind of actually what I try to teach my children, or try to see how you handle different people to where you realize it may not be a conflict, and I'm not a passive person. I will try to kind of think, like you said before, I speak or what I say. But sometimes it's funny because some people are happy that they don't have filters. Like I've, been around people and they're like, oh, I have no filter. Yeah, okay, that's okay if that's, the life for you. But when you
Right.
begin to be in the workplace and dealing with different, ships, relationships, friendships, as you said, like our spouses, that makes a difference, of how, you address things, your at growth, realizing, wait a minute, maybe I might be going through something today and that may have caused that reaction, so,
I
but I
think
mean,
that to your point though, I think every situation kind of dictates how you respond to it too.
yes,
Because every
yeah,
situation doesn't dictate that you take a minute to reflect. Sometimes, because just like with our kids, when they're at school, like I tell, our sons, hey, wait a minute, if somebody's saying something, you gotta put them in their place right then and there because kids are
mm-hmm,
different. If you
yeah,
let them
yeah,
slide, right,
yeah,
and you don't say
they
anything,
gonna do it again, yeah,
they're gonna do it again.
yeah,
Versus
yeah,
when you're an adult, you got to handle, like you were saying, if am I in a business setting? Hey, let me think about this. All right, are we playing mind games right now? Now I
mm-hmm,
have to respond in a professional manner, but I still need to put you in your place and let you know, don't come for me, right? But I
mm-hmm,
have to do it in a professional manner. Versus if I'm in the street and I'm at the store and somebody's saying something, there have been, or you're even when you're driving, right? It's been plenty of times
right,
people
yeah,
you done
yeah,
got cut
yeah,
off. Somebody done cussed you out on the side of the road and you're with your kids, so you think about it. Okay, I don't want to put my child in a situation because I don't know
Right.
if this person has a gun, so I'm going to handle. Versus if I'm by myself, and even now as I get older, in situations like that, I think before I react because there's plenty of times I'm like, and you want to throw your
yeah, 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 yeah,
Go off on
yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
yeah, but it just depends on what the situation is. I can remember and when my ex and I broke up, and I remember the woman that he was cheating with, she had my kids. I was going to pick up my kids and I hadn't had a chance to see her, and the kids are in the car and I'm pulling out and she's coming down the
coming
road, and
in,
I was just like, because I was so angry and I was so mad, I would just
mm-hmm,
react. And I
right,
was like, no, let your window. And
yeah,
now that I think about it, I was like, was that the best way
was
to
it,
handle that when my
right,
children were in the car?
right,
Them
right,
seeing
right,
me. So every situation dictates, I think, how you respond.
mm-hmm.
Or if you have to respond at all, actually. And
Exactly.
because
Right.
sometimes you
Right.
have to pick your battles and like, yeah,
Exactly.
no, not now's
Well,
not
it's
the
fun.
time.
I don't see KK. Even though being growing up, I'm trying to see you put up. I see how you are with hubby. So,
Sometimes I keep it
you,
up
You gotta
sometimes.
push her to that point. You
yeah.
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
push her to the point.
I'm not an easy
I cut
one.
up many a time, and I'm like, ooh, you,
Ooh,
Oh, you always see the
ooh,
gentle
ooh.
side of me.
yeah, like you are not sweet, KK.
So
Nasty.
seeing that, I'm like, I can't even.
No, yeah,
I can be sweet and sour at the same
yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah. You can be kind of nasty for real, for real, for real.
We just discussed that the other day that you could be. See, you can be nasty, KK. She done told me
She can
you can be
be.
You
nasty.
never seen the
Yeah,
nasty side of
Like, we
me.
ain't talking about that kind of nasty. Okay, you married, so I know you that nasty.
yeah.
Oh my God. I don't
Right.
think I've ever seen the nasty side of Patrice. I have
Yes, you have.
no, not really,
Yes,
no.
you've heard
Seen
Or
me.
the
if I
nasty
have
side
seen it,
when
I
it
don't
come to them
consider it
kids, baby.
nasty.
No, you've heard me.
I done seen her. She done called me, said something. Yeah, who
Yeah.
I be having the bail money ready for her when it comes to them kids. Okay.
I've heard her upset.
Yes, you don't hear me. It's plenty of times, especially
So
when we was
wait,
at,
wait a
Yeah.
minute.
that
So
wedding.
is it upset, the upset side, or is it nasty? What's the difference between being upset, and dealing with a situation, and being nasty and dealing with a situation?
I think when you're upset, you're upset, but you have more control.
Control.
When you're
Okay.
nasty, like you done just lost, you
Yeah.
lost
Now my
control.
petty side coming out. I'm trying
Yeah.
to see what
Oh,
I'm
okay,
about to do to
okay,
get you
okay,
back.
okay. So that's
You
the
know.
difference. Like,
Yeah, my
Yeah.
vindictive side. That's
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
had
Well,
some
let you
vindictive
in, isn't
side.
it? Oh,
I
okay.
have, yeah, yeah. I needed definitions because,
Yeah.
like, I'm upset and I'm reacting a certain way, but I have been vindictive before.
Yeah. You've
You
been
ain't never
vindictive.
seen me vindictive.
Oh, remember that one time with you know who at work and they had made you mad? Remember that time? Yeah. Oh no, you've been nasty before. You've been nasty a couple of times. Hey,
Okay. All right. I'll allow that.
yeah, no, you've
Yeah.
been nasty.
Okay. So yeah, I have seen nasty sides.
Yeah, yeah. You.
That's okay. That's why I said it's a part of growth too.
Pull my glasses up.
Just realizing, like you said, how we handle personal conflict and how we handle it.
Yeah.
Because we're three different people. Yes, we have a lot of the same things, in common, and characteristics, morals, things like that. But we handle conflict different. KK it seems to be the more mild one than than us.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
would agree.
sis only cut up in certain situations where sometimes I will switch faster.
Hmm.
But it's funny because that's why I have good people in my life, because I'm able to call and say, hey, this happened, and they're able to kind of bring me back, or like I said, that emotional intelligence, listening, reading, I've read that emotional intelligence book so many times, and that's helped me, with handling conflict with my husband and everybody around me. So like you said, this road rage, I can be blood. KK, you ain't never been around me and her. We in separate cars.
Right.
We actually do people to think that we about to fight each other.
Yeah, plenty of times.
We flick each other off. We pull in front of each other. All that.
Mm-mm. I've heard y'all on the phone
And people
having y'all little
looking
road rage
crazy.
And people
issues.
thinking that we be serious, and we just, this is my sister. We just playing. This is what we do, but they don't know that. But
Mhm. Oh, it's so funny. That brings me to a good story. We're in California and we're all in the store. All of us, right? All the sisters
yeah.
and the girls, we're in the store. And I have a cell phone and I'm like, I don't know why the story came up in my head, but so I have her cell phone
Hmm.
and I'm like, I went and I said, I'll go to the restroom, and I had her phone, I took it out and I said, I'm gonna let her know, I'm gonna make her think that I dropped her phone in the toilet, right? So she's in line and I come back and I have a paper towel and I
Hmm.
had wet it, and
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
like, so sorry. I didn't forgot your phone was in my back pocket and I dropped it in the toilet. She's like, no, I know it. You ain't dropped my phone in the toilet. I said, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Like, keep that.
Yeah, the
Keep it.
people standing behind us and they
People
look
looking like,
like, and the
Yeah, she probably
cashier
was
was
like,
like,
"Oh Lord."
and she's like, I know you. And I said I was sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Mm, mm, mm,
and look,
mm.
and the middle sister, of course, it's just, let me dry it off. Shut up. No.
And
The
she
people
knew.
behind us looking
She
like,
knew. And I was like, the people like, and I'm like, how? And so that is so classic of us acting a fool, and somebody like, oh my God, are they
yeah,
serious? Are
that's
they
just what
really
we
like?
do.
Are they
Yeah.
really upset?
Yeah. I
I
think
like,
we are each other's teachers of personal conflict because we test
Yeah.
each other patience.
yeah,
I just told a story yesterday at church about me throwing that mulch at you, making you think that it was a frog. Okay. So,
Had the girl jump all the way out the car,
yeah,
okay? Like she was
we are
tripping
each
about
other's
it.
testers of
yeah.
personal conflict.
Yeah, but it's good to have people that
It
that
is. It
that
is.
will hold you to the carpet, right? Hold you to the rug,
Yes.
and it doesn't destroy the relationship that you have with them, right? Because so
Mm-hmm.
many people don't like to be held to the rug about
Mm-hmm.
who they are, what they're doing, how they're reacting, right? So to have someone in your life and you value that, right? I value you guys telling me when I'm wrong, right? Y'all
Mm-hmm.
gonna get down with me if something is wrong and somebody's doing something. But
Right.
if I'm wrong, y'all might fight them. But listen, why you had us out there cutting the food because you did X, Y, Z? You know you was wrong, right?
Since now you know I'm saved now.
You know you was wrong, right? So, but people don't like that. There's so many people who don't like to be held responsible for their own actions when even with our spouses, right? When we're doing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
and my husband or your husband
Mm-hmm.
does or and we're like, well, he da 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 da, and we're all like, well, sis, now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they always willing me back. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling
yeah,
you,
Mm-hmm.
you
always
Yeah.
know,
willing me back.
oh, hold on, where's your accountability here? You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Where are you at? I got you. I understand where you're coming from as a woman, but where's your accountability here?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
that
appreciate that.
I love that about having
Yeah.
our relationship and being able to be so vulnerable with one another like that
Hmm.
is amazing, because I feel like a lot of people don't have someone that they can be vulnerable with, who will hold them accountable, but also, hold them up.
Hmm. Yep. Uplift them, pray with 'em,
Mm-hmm.
and that's number one, with us. If I mean, my circle is big, but if either one of
Yes,
my friends,
why? Like an
yes,
ocean.
yes, my circle is wide. If I can't pray with either one of my friends or my sisters or my family, they're not for me.
Mhm.
It's time for me to back up, because I never know when I'm about to get out of pocket and I need to be put back. Like you said, I need to be, hey, 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 sis, I know, and we may not address it right then and there in front of other people. I may ride or die for you in that moment, but later on, sis, you was kind of, maybe you should have handled, and that's like you said, that's the difference, having those good people in your life. And if you don't have those people in your life, that's gonna, that you if you're gonna take offense to your friends, your family, somebody telling you the truth, you actually hearing the truth when you know it's true. If you go take offense to it, then you may need to pull yourself back, because it may not be the person that's the problem. It may be you. Sometimes we have to reevaluate ourselves.
That's
Like
right.
you
And it's
said.
that do those friendships with you because of that. Like they'll cut off
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
because you were honest with them, or not giving or not supporting them in their wrongness, right? And they
Right.
don't hear what you got to say, so they just cut off the relationship with you, which is sad. But
And you know what make that even sadder is these, us as human beings will forgive a man or a woman for dogging us, cheating us, talking crazy to us. But a
mhm.
friend or a close,
Yeah,
sisterhood or anybody telling us the truth, or about, not pointing out a flaw, just telling us something that's true, we want to cut the ties. We
yeah,
cut ties over $2, $5,
yeah,
over gas money,
yeah,
but a disagreement, just something simple, you will forgive a man or a woman or somebody dogging you, cheating you, mistreating you. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Something wrong
always
with that.
carry with me one something that somebody told me, we was which is funny, because we were very close at the time. We were close friends at the time, and she would always tell me, if if that's truly your friend and you really love them, you will always try to rectify the situation. If you really love that
Yeah,
person, you're
that's
always going to
yeah,
try to
yeah.
rectify the situation. And that same advice that person gave me, they didn't keep.
They didn't keep.
Oh,
I
Mm-mm.
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, they didn't keep.
But
Yeah,
I keep it. I always
yeah,
remember what she
yeah.
said, and I always keep that. And I think it always comes up anytime I'm arguing or having a moment with somebody that I love. I'm always thinking about that. Okay, well, if I really love this person, I'm not gonna allow this door to close. And
Yes,
even with that
yes.
person who told me that, I still try to be somewhat present
Hmm.
with them, but it's
Hmm.
not the same relationship
Right.
that you
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, yeah.
That's how, like, I think people come into your life for a season. You learn what you're supposed to learn from that person, or get
Hmm.
whatever you
Hmm.
were supposed to get out of that relationship, and it moves. Some seasons last for a lifetime, and some are
Yeah,
just, whatever
temporarily.
it's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
just yeah. Hmm. Like we
So,
we are the ones who tend to hold on to people. Even when God trying to remove that person, we hold
mm-hmm,
on to those people. While
mm-hmm,
we be right there praying, Lord, please remove and please show, and we
mm-hmm.
steady holding on to them.
Holding on to them, and they
Yeah.
weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to be for a long time.
Hmm.
mm.
Hmm.
They were a short time, short term investment. That's what that was. Short term investment.
Short term investments. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
I
What'd you
like
say?
long-term friendship. I don't want no short-term friendship.
Yeah, but
So,
every friendship isn't meant to be a long term.
Hmm.
Some
yeah.
are just, and you don't know. I mean, it's not like when you. I mean, but again, our circle is small. We're not like the ocean, like somebody else on here. Who's they're yeah.
Floating out there on the raft.
I don't feel like she's ever met a stranger. Like everybody, she like,
Everybody know. Everybody know her.
and
Everybody know her. For
like
real.
who is who is
Mm-hmm.
There are people who I don't vibe with. That is
you?
not true. Okay.
I'm
Who?
going out with
Please tell me who.
and so and so, and we going to lunch. Okay,
Who? Who
all right.
don't you vibe with?
Ev-
Listen, I
Everybody.
have lost some people in my life. When I mean lost, I mean like to death. Like friends and stuff. So that's why I cherish, my good friends, and so like you said, sis, if
50
my
of them.
friends may be mad if somebody says something, I try to let them know so that I don't lose them. I try to rectify, situations. So I'm really kind of thinking like, have I ever had a friend that I don't talk to at all anymore? Like that's not. I don't think so. I don't know. Because I try to, pray for my friends, pray with them. I'm really trying to think. Maybe it was somebody who and if they come on here and they see it, I want them to tell me, hey, Rena, I knew you back in 1987. We was in the sandbox, and you threw the sand in my face, something, whatever.
But
Because
I think people be holding on to like they
people
like
do
you said,
hold on. Yes,
hold
people do
on to
hold on to
stuff
things.
that you don't
Yeah,
even know. Like I'm not a good phone call. Like I'm not gonna call everybody.
yeah.
Some
Me
people
neither.
like to be
Yeah,
on the phone all the time. They want to be
yep. Me
talking all the
neither.
time.
Yep.
And I don't like to be
Mm-mm.
on the phone. Now, if you text me, I'll text you back.
Yeah,
I'm a good texter, but it's only
yeah.
certain people that I talk
That I'm
to
gonna talk to on the
every
phone. Yeah,
day,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think people be holding on to stuff and you're not thinking because life happens, right? Life be life in you, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you got kids and
Yeah.
you're gonna be here, there, everywhere, and you work, so
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna forget. Wait a minute, I was supposed to, call,
Called.
or whomever the person was
Yeah.
today because you only had, like I said, there's only so many hours
So
in
many
a day,
hours in a day.
and you got those certain people that you gonna you got to talk to them every single day, right? Every single
Mm-hmm.
day. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, I'm talking about my cousin and my sister-in-law. If I don't call every day, it's gonna be a problem. Like I know that's gonna be a problem. I talk to
Mm-hmm.
y'all every day,
Yeah.
get the kids every is that, but that's but there are other people in your life. You're like, okay, because I'm lifing right and I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing my
Mm-hmm.
normal daily thing. There's not time in the day to remember to call
To
Donnie.
call them. Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right? And then they're mad at you, but you ain't know why
But
they
you
was
didn't know
mad.
they was mad.
Yeah, and then you're like,
Right.
well, if it was important, why you ain't calling
Why
me or
you
why
ain't
you
say?
Yeah, the
Why?
phone
Yeah.
worked both ways.
Yeah,
it
and like I
works
said,
both?
look, I'm one of them people. If you mad at me, and if you don't address it, and then let's say months go down, and then
Mm,
you trying to tell me, I'm gonna be like, now I don't care, because I'm like, well, you didn't say nothing back then. You made up whatever this narrative was in your head,
Right.
thinking that whatever, instead of you just saying something then.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't you just say something? Especially if you're close with me, you know me. You know that, like you said, I'm not a person that talk on the phone. So if I tell you I'm gonna call you back, look, the middle sister knows if I say I'm gonna call her back, she'd be like, no, you're not. Okay. Everybody knows if I say I'm gonna call her back, I usually don't. Okay, that's just me because like I'm busy. I forget. Okay, I'm running businesses. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm feeding the homeless. There's 50 million things. It's somebody's birthday. It's something every day. So I forget. I'm flawed that way. And that I do apologize to people. That's why when I hear people say, "Oh no, if that person is a priority, then they'll get back to you." That's a lie. Because
No.
everybody is a priority to me, and sometimes I just don't have time, or I forget. I'm human. I'm flawed that way. To where I may forget to call you. That doesn't mean you're not in my heart. That doesn't mean that tonight when I go lay down, I'm not going to pray for you. Okay. So that's where people put narratives in their head and start dissecting the friendship. Well, she was supposed to call me back this time and she didn't. Okay. Well, you might need to think about that. Maybe I'm going through something. Maybe, like you said, the phone worked both ways. Text me and say, hey, are you okay? I know you say you're going to call me back, but are you okay? Not just in your mind, oh, she don't want to talk to me, or she acting like she's so busy. Maybe I am. You
Right.
never know. I might just be that busy,
Yeah.
So
I think people think like because so say if it's me, right? And you said I was gonna call you back, but you didn't. But okay, well if I didn't call her back, she gonna call me and she gonna be
hmm
complaining. Right.
hmm
So it's
hmm
what is it, the squeaky wheel gets to something, I forget how it go, but like for me, I already know my cousin, my sister-in-law, if you don't call them,
hmm
they gonna make some noise. And I don't just
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
You
hear all
won't
that. So
hear.
going
hmm
on and call because if I don't
hmm
answer the phone for my daddy, he gonna call the police. So I don't want to
You like,
call
nah, I just don't want that.
because he gonna call the police like he will. He'll call I called the
hmm
police because I didn't get dad. You rang me. You don't call the
You can
police.
start doing that while I'm here from you.
I called the hospital. Nah,
Right. And it's the
no,
squeaky wheel gets the most grease.
that's it
So,
right there.
yep.
Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep.
That's what
That's
I'm
Squeaky
what.
saying.
wheel gets the
Okay,
most.
okay.
So it doesn't mean that you're less important. It's just like
No.
we just don't want to hear that person complaining because they gonna be complaining. But other than that, because you're not complaining, it's just I'm just doing life. It doesn't mean that you're
hmm
Grease you on the
less.
daily. Let me water. Call you. Okay, I'm done for
Mm-hmm.
today.
Yeah, exactly it, right there.
All right, we gonna
unless
try
they're a
that.
person like me who will I will turn my phone off, okay?
Oh,
And
We
don't
know.
get
everybody,
me started with this phone situation
Yeah,
with
we
her.
know.
anybody who is close to me understands I will turn my phone off,
No,
okay?
we was talking about you behind your back.
Mhm.
When you,
Sure, it's okay,
Mhm.
as long as you're talking to each other and not a stranger about me, it's okay. When I turn my phone off, it's
ridiculous.
for a reason.
You
It's not
you not
personal
like
against
that.
other
It
Mm-mm.
does
people.
feel good to turn your phone off because when I
It
came back
does,
home,
man.
I turned my phone off and
It
I
really does. Like,
It was like I was like a drug fiend and I was going through withdrawal for a month. Okay. When you can't talk to her on the phone and talk about your grievances or just want to just laugh about something and then it's just taken away from you. Like, how are you supposed to go through your day to day without being able to pick up the phone and hearing her say, "What you want?" Or, like,
yep.
"Hey, cousin," or something. That
has
was not
become a
easy.
staple in your life
That
on a
was not
daily.
an easy,
Yeah.
month. But I get why you did what you did.
Yeah.
I wish
And
I
I
can
mean,
turn it
it
off.
felt good, y'all.
I don't know
Mhm.
Like I
how
said,
to.
when I turned it back on, you would be like, you didn't call me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I done got so used to not touching the phone that I just put it down and now I don't pick it up.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry. Now I'm not realizing that I done put that phone down, when I come in the house. But that's accountability too. That was holding me accountable to things that I said I was going to do. Sitting down, actually sitting and reading my Bible. Talking to my kids more. I always talk to them, but just talking more, listening. So yeah, that made space for other stuff. That's
Mhm.
why.
I think that brings us into, as we're winding down, brings us into our next topic for next week,
Hmm.
accountability. Like, who are your accountability partners? Who keeps
Yeah.
you accountable? How do you keep yourself accountable? So yeah, hopefully you guys will join us again next week. If you want to join in and hear us talk about accountability, or maybe you guys have some ideas that can, help us be better at accountability, we would love to have y'all come and sit at our table with us.
Yes. Send any ideas that you have to us at the FoundHERs table at gmail.com. I'll spell that out for you. It's the found her, HERHERS table at gmail.com. That's where you can hit us up until we get this phone line hooked up and then you can call in and we can discuss things further.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us and watching our first episode of Go
The
Ahead, Sis.
FoundHERs
Table.
table. And we got plenty more to come. Come chill with us and hang with us and hear what we got to talk
All
about.
right. Thank you guys.
Thank
All right,
you.
y'all. Peace.